In the tapestry of time, a journey unfolds. African-American children's stories untold.
In the cradle of culture, heritage, and pride, teach them how to stay alive. Truths that cannot be denied. Please keep these geniuses' eyes open wide. Mothers, this world is tough. Fathers, give them what they need to be enough. We both better fix their stuff. They're trying to kill him and destroy her. These kids through the storms of life. These kids, everything is by design. These kids won't go through the pipeline. These kids shouldn't have to die. Racism's bitter reek. What narratives do I leak? Empowerment to them we speak. Guide these kids to be strong and unique. Embrace that melanin inside. Starve the lies, let them die. Your knowledge is the weapon you fly. The older you get, the more it will intensify. These kids through the storms of life. These kids, everything is by design. These kids won't go through the pipeline. These kids shouldn't have to die. Concrete of history. Come on, Chazz. Stories of victories. Struggles and witchery. They don't like you, so what? They're gonna talk about you, so what?
Guide them through racism and prejudice. Our justice, breaking barriers with bliss. For every milestone, a celebration grand. Make womanhood and manhood stand.
Help them through the storms of life. Everything is by design. You won't go through the pipeline. These kids shouldn't have to die.
What's happening, Chazz? How you feeling today, man?
Pretty good in yourself, man. I was nodding my head to that song that we just did. I was really, really impressed with that, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. Yeah, that's our new song coming off of our new album that's coming out now. That's called These Kids. We don't have the copyrights to it right now, but within the next few months, you're going to hear that one, and you're going to hear many, many more from Cries from the Womb. So that one is called These Kids, because we've always talked about our children in a light where they're not supposed to be really doing great, but at the bottom line is our kids are all we have, and we got to invest in our kids. Right. So what that song is about. But Chazz, let's continue on with our discussion called Helpful Tips in Life for Group Improvement. This is a whole month, man. This is a whole week.
I'm happy still to be talking about it. I've really enjoyed this topic. We've always had good feedback from our viewers on here, but yeah, I can't believe that we're still going on about it, man. This is a good topic.
Okay, well, having said that, let's jump right into some helpful tips. Here's another helpful tip. Chat, this is number 27. So let's take it away. Here we go.
Number 27, work very hard on getting rid of terrible habits in life. Now, every day, we should all be doing self-examination, looking at our lives in our head, thinking, okay, what am I doing wrong? And be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror and don't sugarcoat it. Be honest with yourself. And the things that are, try to take them one thing at a time. Don't try to, do everything in one night. The things that you can do, take it one step at a time and try to eliminate them, so that way you'll have a better mental health and you're not always stressed out. But I'll pass it to you on this one.
Yeah, because this is something that we have to work very hard on, because we all have terrible habits in our lives, and we know we do, but we don't like to work on them. See, I'm willing to work on your habits and I'm willing to work on other people's habits, but we don't like to work very hard on getting rid of our terrible habits. And these habits have set us back for so many years, but yet we see them staring us in the face, but we don't do anything about it because we're not wanting to take that sacrifice and work hard on those things that we know that's terrible.
Or I was gonna say, we look at them and minimize them. We say, "Oh, this habit isn't that bad," or people are just making up. It's not that bad. It's like we try to minimize what our habits are, and it's unfortunate. But I do see we got some viewers in the house today. We got first off, Sister Marie fires in here. She says, "Hotep Kings." Okay. Ain't Nuji's in the building. She fires in here. She says, "Peace and blessings, family." Okay. Sister Mashonda says, "Hello, everyone. We appreciate her." Brother Ray is in here. What's up, Ray? He says, "Black love and black respect in the dualism of black power." And then he also says, "That's what's up." He also comes back. He says, "Look at corrections as divine gifts."
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's true. That's true, Chaz. And as we continue to talk about working very hard on getting rid of terrible habits in life, see, I don't think we look at ourselves enough. I think we're too busy looking at other people. But if we really look at ourselves, we have some terrible habits that we need to work on. And this is going to take a lot of work. It's not going to happen, as you said, overnight.
Right.
But a lot of us don't want to be honest with ourselves. And this is why our group has not improved much, because we need to really look at ourselves and say, I need to clean up my lying. I need to clean up my backbiting. I need to clean up my procrastination. I need to clean up not always wanting to take responsibility and et cetera, et cetera. But you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, sometimes we get in the funk, and like I said earlier, that we try to grab all this thing up in one night. We try to knock out 4, 5, and 6 problems, and what happens is we get frustrated because we have too much on our plate, and when we can't knock all those things out, we say, "Oh, what the heck? I'm not going to do any of it at all. It's too difficult. It's too hard." So that way, it's too much. I'm not doing nothing, and then the problems never ever get fixed. But it's unfortunate. Okay, number 28, it says, "Be willing to learn new ideas to enhance your life." And some new ideas can be such as, if you can, sleep 8 hours a day, eat healthy meals, practice gratitude, exercise. And this is one that I would say that is really, really serious. And it's not talked about much. Declutter. Declutter. We talked about this a little bit last week, but when I say declutter, some of the things in our closets, some of the things in our bedrooms, some of the things in our cars, in our trunk, or in our workspaces, I find it hard to be able to function when you got all this stuff piled up, all this stuff lying around. And if you're not careful, living a junky life will make you not be able to function clearly, and it'll add stress to your life. And that's why I would say that's a new idea, because I've noticed some people who say, for example, these hoarders that used to come on TV, once they declutter all that crap from their house, the people will say, "I feel better now. I can think more clearly. I'm not so always antsy and upset and frustrated." So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, because when you look at these new ideas should enhance our lives. These new ideas should make our lives better. Because if I ask most of those viewers tonight, and we ask our friends, what have you learned new? What are you engaging in that's new? Most of us don't have too much to say, because we're not interested in learning new ideas. And this is why the group that we're in is stagnant in many instances. So what we're trying to encourage everyone to do is to learn something new, something that's going to help you. Learn something that's going to take you to another level, that's going to help your mindset, that's going to help, like you mentioned earlier, your lifestyle, something that's going to help us, because we've got to get rid of a lot of those old ideas, those ideas I said earlier about the lying, the backbiting, the jealousy, the strife, the envy. All of that has to go. We need to replace that with these new ideas. And this is why most of our lives are not really going in the direction that they should go. We're still in a funk because the new ideas have been kicked to the curb, Chazz.
Absolutely. Well said. Number 29, enjoy yourself while you still have time. Now, I would totally agree with that. A lot of issues that we as Americans, we wait till we get old. We wait till we get on our hospital bed to say, "I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that." No, while you're still young and active, get up, be active, do something with yourself. Don't just lie around and sit around. Let all these years pass by, let all these months pass by, and we're just sit back lethargic, not doing anything. We're not doing anything useful. And it's like the handwriting sometimes is on the wall when we do get older, we're not able to do the things that we used to do when we're young. So now we're just a sitting couch potato. So
Yeah.
you need to start doing things while you're still young and active. And when I say young, that doesn't always mean in your 20s. I would say a young person still is in their 40s and 50s. If you can get your butt in the car, you can drive yourself to a store, get up and be active. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, and the first part of that, I think, is what needs to be really harped on, which is enjoy yourself. Don't try to live for someone else. Don't try to live for your daddy. Don't try to live for your children. Don't try to live for your family. Don't try to live for your coworkers, your significant other. Live for yourself. Enjoy yourself. Now,
Right.
they are a part of our lives, and we know that. But what we're trying to say is to give out encouragement to all of us tonight is this. Many of us, Chazz, we don't know how to enjoy ourselves. See, we don't know how to enjoy ourselves because we've never taken the time out to say, I'm going to do something that makes me me. I'm going to do something that's going to make me a better person and have fun doing it. Everything is not always about drinking. Everything's not always about smoking. Everything's not always about cooking food and eating. Everything is not always about fighting. Everything is not always about all this nonsense. See, so if you ask someone, Chazz, the next time you see them, and I'll do it too, just ask them, how do you enjoy yourself? I bet you they look up to the sky because they don't know how to enjoy themselves. And so then we bring them back down to earth and say, enjoy yourself. Read a book. Do something important. Learn a new hobby. Learn a new skill. Learn a new language. Learn some things that's going to help you. Learn how to help take care of the elderly. Learn how to be in the lives of the young people. See, these are the things that's going to help our group, but we don't know how to enjoy ourselves. We're always angry, always upset, and we don't take time out for the self. Chazz, would you agree to that?
You're absolutely right. Now, I'll take it a step further. I think I'll say 75 to 80% of us can't enjoy ourselves unless it's with another person. Meaning,
come on, Chazz, come on, man.
I really believe this. Unless we have somebody that's in our ear, hyping us up, acting us, making us act foolish, acting stupid, brother. Most of us, like now myself, I do need to do a better job at this. But I'm content with myself. I don't have to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people around to make me feel good. And I think not that I'm better, but I think that's what makes people in society feel bad about themselves. It's like you always see them. They got to be with somebody. They got to be doing something with 4 and 5, 6 people. My thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. So let me be clear. There's totally nothing wrong with that. But you mean to tell me as a grown man or woman, you can't enjoy yourself unless you have somebody with you in a multitude of them? It's just totally messed up.
It really is. And the last part says, enjoy yourself while you still have time. See, time is like a thief. Time is like a thief in that it robs us of some of the things that we should be doing. And before you look up, Chazz, we are old and cold. We are old as dirt. I mean, it seemed like just yesterday that I was a young man. It seemed like just yesterday that I was a little boy riding in a wagon, on the smooth side in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It seemed like I was just the other day, I was a little boy going to school, eating now laters and all this good stuff. But Chazz, time has crept up on me, and man, my time is winding down. And it's not that I don't have that many years left, so I should be thinking about enjoying myself. But unfortunately, we are so bombarded with our children's problems, with our problems, with our relatives' problems, with our bills, with all of the things that's going on, with politics, with religion. All this stuff is just dumped on us. And before we look up, we find ourselves on our deathbed, wondering, what did I do with my time? And so we gotta stop that, Chazz. We really do.
Absolutely.
Let's start some comments, Chazz, because again, and in fact, let's let Brother Ray in, because Brother Ray, this is basically his show, okay? I'm having fun because you and I, Chazz, we're just the host, but this is Brother Ray's show. He takes advantage of this show. He's not ashamed to talk. You see, many people hide behind their cell phone, but they know that they don't know how to enjoy themselves. But this brother here, man, he does. He really loves this broadcast.
Yeah, he enjoys it. He's always commenting. We appreciate his viewership. He fires in here and he says, self-love should be honest with yourself.
Yeah. Quit fooling yourself. We done fooled ourselves. Listen, Chaz, many of us think we're celebrities. We look in the mirror, we see ourselves as movie stars, ain't got a pot that you know what in. But
Yeah.
we think more highly of ourselves. We're not modest when it comes to that, see? And he's
Right.
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 Self-love, be honest with yourself. You are who you are. I am
Right.
who I am.
Right. Yeah. He also says self-love shouldn't be unconditional love.
Yeah.
I was gonna let you take that and I was gonna expand
Yeah,
on it.
in other words, he's just basically saying, if you do something for me, then I'm with you. But it's based on conditions, is what he's saying. It should be unconditional. I should love a person I should love myself because that's who I am. I don't care
Right.
how big I am. I don't care how small I am. I don't care how tall I am. I don't care how short I am. I don't care whether I wear glasses, if my head is bald. I don't care. See, these are the things that our people need to hear about because
Yeah.
our group is going down a slippery slope of anarchy because we don't
Mhm.
have many people that are encouraging us to take care of ourselves and to love ourselves.
Absolutely. He also fires in here. He says, I feel too much entertainment and having too much of a good time is a major problem. Yes, it is. Because here's the thing, Ray, as you pointed out, when we sit back and we're watching too much TV, time goes by. We don't do the things that we're supposed to do. And we're so busy watching all these, and there's nothing wrong with this, but we're watching all these shows on TV. We're not working as hard as we can. In fact, some of us are calling off from work to watch some of these things to catch up on some of these episodes. But like he mentioned, it's nothing wrong with having a good time, but when you're having too much of a
That's
good
all.
time,
Yeah, that's all we
it
want to
really
do.
messes you up. It
You're
does.
right, Chad.
Brother Ray
That's
well
all.
said.
Some of us live for the weekend, but we live for the weekdays too. All we think about is a cell phone, a television,
Mm.
a car, somebody to talk to, somebody to run our fat mouths with. Somebody, this is all we do, Chaz.
Yeah.
We want to be entertained. We want to watch things. If we're not watching anything, we acting like something is wrong. And so
Yeah.
we're sick. We're really sick. And that's a problem.
Absolutely. Sister Mashana fires in here. She says self-care is important. Yes, it's important. Self-care, and it's not always with getting some new shoes, some new jewelry, a new hairdo, a new car. That's not self-care. To me, and a lot of think we have this twisted. Self-care is actually taking care of our mental health, taking
Yeah.
care of our physical health,
Yes,
taking
sir.
care of ourselves, and taking time off to do certain things that we want to do. Because some of us, not all, but we look at self-care as, well, I don't have that much money on my check, so I can't get those new kicks, so I must be a bum or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
not always about being so materialistic is my main point I'm trying to hit home.
You let me tell you something, Chaz, because the queen is right. Self-care is important. The reason that it's important, because if you look at our people, and if we're honest tonight and having a serious discussion on Adults Only, where you can see this broadcast every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Self-care is important because we're dying. We're dying of diabetes. We're dying of liver
Mm.
disease. We're dying of kidney disease. We're dying of
Mm.
obesity. We're dying of too much grease in our system, in our veins. We're dying of eating too much salt. We're dying of
Mm.
hypertension. We're dying of eating
Wow.
too much sugar. We're dying of too much sweets. We're dying of not exercising. So,
Yeah.
yes, self-care, take care of ourselves. And a lot of us don't like to have this simple discussion, but you see that it's important that we need to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. That was a good comment she dropped. Brother Ray fires back in here. He says, entertainment is volunteer self detriment.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're detained. Yeah, you're detained. All you're doing is detained. You're sitting there in prison. I'm sitting there in handcuffs. I'm sitting there like a stool pigeon. Won't move. Gotta have something in my mouth. Gotta drink
Yeah.
something. Gotta sit there in a doggone trance looking at a cell phone where I can't move. I'm
Yeah.
just, this is
It,
problematic. It's very
it,
problematic.
and I was gonna say, I'll take it a step farther. The thing is these are shows and things that we're watching for 8, 9, 10. Now I could see if we did it for 2 hours and we got off and did some things, but 8, 9, 10 hours back to back to back, Netflix after Netflix, movie after movie, and it just gets to a point where you look up and you say, "Well, what did you do today, Brother Ja?" Well, I watched these Michael Jordan Netflix shows from 10 o'clock this morning, and it's like, bruh, I mean, come on now, you got to learn how to turn it down a notch.
Yeah.
Uh, It's okay. It's Brother Ray fires back. He says, "No, I meant self-love should have conditions."
Yeah, take care of yourself. Make sure you can put the conditions on taking care of yourself, because that's how it should be.
Absolutely. We got Sister Nikita. Hey, Sister Nikita. She says,
What's
"Hi,
going
family.
on,
We
Sister
appreciate
Nikita?
her."
All right.
Brother Ray fires back. He says, "If you don't care for yourself properly, you can't care for anyone else properly." That's absolutely true.
Yeah, it's that mindset. Here's another one, Chazz.
Number 30. Stop arguing or stop worrying about every little thing. And that's what causes a lot of health issues on us. We want to control everything. We want things to go our way. And when they don't go our way, we're acting like little 5-year-olds. We're acting like little children. We act like we can't be content with saying, you know what? I'm going to do the best I can in this situation, and whatever happens, happens. But no, us black men, we want to be these tough guys that
macho man, everything. Rambo,
and having control. And it's not about that. So I would say, like you mentioned on the screen, brother, stop worrying about every little thing, because some things are just out of our control, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And you know, this is what's wrong with us, and this is what we need to encourage people about. Our children see us worrying all our lives.
Yeah.
And when they become adults, they do the very same thing that they see us do. We worry about our bills. We worry about our health. We worry about if somebody loves me or not. Does he love me or does she love me? We worry about all the things that we cannot do anything about. Every little thing. Oh, I saw how you looked at me, Chazz. That means you saw how you looked at me. You know, all these little petty issues, you know. And as a people, we got to stop that. We worry about every little thing. Oh, you didn't speak to me the way you spoke to me yesterday. You just said hi instead of, hey, what's happening? So you got a problem with me. We have some sick people, and I'm saying I want to encourage us today. I want to encourage us. Stop arguing all the time. Not just worrying, Chazz. Everything is an argument. You say the sky's blue. I say it's blue, but it has some gray in it. You say it has gray in it, but it has a little white in it. And now we're ready to come to blows. We're so argumentative. Everything that we do is argumentative. And this is not good for our race. This is not good for our people. And it's not good for our health. This is why we have so many ulcers. You know, ulcers. We're worrying. We're arguing. This is why the hair on our head is white as snow. And we only 25 years old. See, you know, we worry too much, Chazz, and we got to really stop that, because that's very, very bad.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to touch on it. Like you said, the arguing thing has got to stop. Every now and then, people do have arguments, but like you said, if it's an everyday thing, or we're constantly getting into it with our coworkers or the people we work with, then that's just a problem. Like you said, that we're overanalyzing things, and I would think there's a deeper issue if your life is consistently based on that. Now, Brother Ray fires back in here. He says, how does arguing benefit you? Choose your battles wisely. Well, Brother Ray, this is the problem. Before I go to this next one, if you could put his comment back on the screen real quick. He said, how does it benefit us? It benefits us in our little mindset, because we think if me and another man at work, and we're arguing, and I belittle him, I have people in the background snickering, people are egging me on, clapping, saying that I told that Ian off. That's what makes now, from Brother Ray's perspective, that's what most men would think benefits them, is being able to show up or belittle the next man or woman and to have the upper advantage. And like you said, you should choose your battles wisely. Everything does not deserve a response. You don't always have to, and I need to work on that myself. When people try to agitate or aggravate me, always trying to, you know, put all these fires out. Something you just need to act like you didn't hear it and keep on moving, you know?
Yeah, because he says, how does arguing benefit you? And what he's basically saying is it doesn't. It really doesn't. But a lot of us want to be right all the time. So we feel that we got the upper hand when I can tell you something that you don't know, and everybody say, oh, look at y'all drop that knowledge. And you sit there scratching your head. So in my heart, I won, and everybody looks up to me, because everybody thinks they're right all the time. And he's absolutely correct. He says, perhaps you won't have to demand respect if you give respect. And then he says, oh, the feel good petty moments. Yeah, we want to feel good. So when I get through telling you off and I go behind the corner, I'm going to tell the other people that's with me, y'all heard me tell that Ian. He don't know what he's talking about. I'm good, man. He ain't that good. So you see, this is very, very problematic, Chazz, and we have to really deal with that.
Absolutely. Number 31. Reflect on the important things going on in your life, then do something about them. Absolutely. We all have issues that are going on in our life, and some of them are personal. You don't have to display them on the screen, but you know what these things are. And the things that are important, it's not always health. Like I said, it could be mental battles that we're going through. Every day, we're worrying, like you said, about our bills. We're worrying about our health. We're worrying about so much things. And these are important to us because if they weren't, we wouldn't be thinking and stressing about them as much. And try to do something about. And this, I'll take a step further. The things that you can't do something about, do the best that you can and throw your freaking hands up and say, you know what? I can't do it. That's it. And let it go, man.
Yeah. Now, I want to take this number 31. This is the 31st thing we said on how to have a helpful life. Okay. A tip for group improvement. I want to take the first part of that and then break it down to the second part. We all reflect on the important things going on in our lives. We all do that. In other words, we know there are things going on. But that second part, we don't do it too much about that. Notice it says, then do something about them. Have you heard people say this? I know I have this problem, and I've been having it for 30 years. So in other words, we've been reflecting on that issue, but we haven't done anything about it. And this is where our problems lie. Our problems lie in that we all know what's going on in our lives.
Right.
And we don't do anything about the things that we should do something about. And so we just continuously kick the can down the road saying, now, I know I should stop. I should have stopped been doing this. We almost 100 years old and we haven't done anything about those things that we know we should do something about. Now, Chazz, I'm going to let you have this next one because you're going to really like this. So we're talking about helpful tips for group improvement. Who wouldn't want to hear how to improve? Who would want their child to hear how we can improve? Here's it is, Chazz. Talk about it.
Number 32. Put a distance between continual negativity, jealous, and unhappy people. Yeah, and at this stage of our lives, brother, we should all know the unhappy are people who are constantly negative. Now, when these things come to you, you address them and let it go. But don't always, what you call, feed on that. We always seem to find ourselves in these situations. We're always hanging with these people. We're always around these jealous people. Then something eventually happens, and then we're sitting there scratching our heads saying, well, how did that happen? No, you're constantly putting yourself in danger. You're constantly putting yourself around people you probably have no business hanging around. And then, like I just mentioned, you wonder when something goes left or goes downhill, you wonder, well, how the heck did it happen? Well, it was bound to happen because you keep putting yourselves in these spots. And the unhappy people, I really would say, and this is not to put them down, but they're probably dealing with something mental and psychological because if a person is unhappy, they're always complaining. They have no good news. They always, woe is me. They're the victim. Everybody's out to get them. You know that there's something deeper going on with that kind of individual, and your heart goes out to them. It really does.
Yeah, it says put a distance between continual negativity. In other words, we all have negativity in our lives. But this says continual negativity. In other words, everywhere we go, this person is negative. Every time we talk to them, this person is negative. They never have anything encouraging to say. They're always putting other people down. They never lift anyone up. See, put a distance between continual negativity. Our race of people, we know there's only one race called the human race, but the African American community, we have so much going on right now, Chazz, that it is not funny. So much is coming up against us. We don't need the negativity. Our children don't need the negativity. We don't need the jealous. We don't need the jealousness. We don't need to be unhappy all the time. And like you said, many people don't know how to be happy. If they're so unhappy, they're unhappy with their lives. They're unhappy with other people. They're unhappy with their jobs. They're unhappy with their spouses. They're unhappy with the society we live in. They're unhappy with themselves. They're just very unhappy. They're unhappy with their children. They're unhappy with their situation. They're unhappy with their bills. They're unhappy. They're just miserable. And I'm saying to us, Chazz, we love these people. We love them. But we're going to have to put a distance between the continued negativity. And this is why you don't get that many that many comments on the screen, because we know that these tips are good for the group. But a lot of us hide behind our cell phones because we know that we are negative, we are jealous, and we're very unhappy. We're very unhappy.
Yeah, and it's not only just us as blacks, but it's just society as a whole. It seems like we all have these traits. Brother Ray fires back in here. He says, "Petty, superficial, feel good, shallow emotions," and he has emojis. He also put, "Too much patience is cowardice." And Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, "Hey, Kings, we appreciate her for coming in." He also fires back. He says, "Unsecure people will let people do anything to them to be around." And let me touch on that because I know we're zipping through these comments. So I just want to say that if you as an individual will let another grown man or woman treat you like dirt, treat you like anything to you, just so you can say, "I have a spouse, I have a woman, I have a dime piece," you have something psychologically wrong with you, because as a man, you should not let another individual treat you like anything just to have them around, or even not even relationships, just relatives in general. You know, you have a relative that's lonely. They always come around, and when they do, they walk all over you. They disrespect you. They don't show you any respect. Wow. And when they do that, you're so lonely. You say, "That's okay. At least I got somebody to run with."
No, come on, Chazz.
That is very, very
come
low.
on, man.
Very low. Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, "We need balance in our lives." Absolutely.
Yeah, we really do, because our lives are out of balance. This is what she's saying. When we look at our lives, it's like a teeter-totter. You know, where you sit on a teeter-totter, two people, and it should be even. Whereas if somebody gets on a teeter-totter and no one else is on it, it's going to go up. Right. And so it's not balanced. We're doing too much of something. We're not doing enough of other things. We're not teaching our children what we should teach our children. We're not teaching ourselves what we should be teaching ourselves. You know, we're not doing things that's going to create that balance. We're all out of whack. We're all out of kilter. And this is why we need balance in our lives, because our lives are out of balance.
Absolutely. Brother Ray fires back. He says, health, strong self-love matters.
It does matter. It does matter. So let's continue to go on with some of the things that we need to talk about to bring about encouragement. Here's another thing we want to tell people that's a helpful tip in life for our group to improve.
Number 33, grow up and act your age. Yeah. Now, when we say grow up, as adults, I thought we knew how to communicate, and I want to take this with communication.
Okay.
A lot of us, we send text messages, or we send these emails, and I don't know, the person may get them or not, but here's the point. At our age, because someone didn't respond to you, or that maybe they didn't see the text message, you say, "I know he got it, and since he didn't respond, I'm not going to talk to him until he actually responds, or I'm not going to call him back until he calls me back first," or vice versa. These are things that we're dealing with as adults. Or we'll say, "I called her last night. She didn't respond. So you know what? Since my cousin didn't call me back, I'm done with her. She better not see me at Walmart, or it's going to be this and that." These are things that we're 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old men and women acting like kids, acting like toddlers when we basically don't get our way. And that's what I want to hit home is act our age.
You're right. You're right, Chazz, because a lot of us are grown. We like to always say, "I'm grown," but we don't act like it. You see, we're very insecure. You know, we're very insecure. You know, we want everyone to like us. We don't like to say certain things to rock the boat because we're cowards. We're cowards, and then we're irresponsible. We're irresponsible, Chazz. We're irresponsible. You know, we're grown men and grown women, grown people, grown adults. They're responsible. See, because life has taught them to mature. Children are going through that maturation process, but most of us, we don't like to act our age because we don't know how, Chazz. We don't know how to be grown. We want to be grown, but we still have a little kid's mind. And we don't develop that mind to put ourselves in a better position so we don't have to act like a kid. Sometimes when you look at children and parents, you would think that the children are the parents and the parents are the children. And now that the children have gotten older and they're in their 30s and 40s, now the child has become the parent and the parent has become the child. So we're acting like little kids. We let our children treat us any kind of way. We don't have any kind of self-respect, as Brother Ray is saying. So we're not growing up. We're still little kids. So we don't want to be mature. We don't know how to be adults. And so we need to do that, because that's a tip, Chazz. Grown men and grown women should act their age. We should be the ones leading our children, not them leading us, not our young children and our young adults leading us, not our older children, even though they're old now. They shouldn't be leading us, telling us what to do, putting their hand in our face, making us do things that we really should. This is crazy, man.
Number 34, prioritize your mental health. At least be concerned about your psychological advancement. Now, this is a serious one.
Okay.
They've created a day for people who have jobs called Mental Health Day, where I guess you can call in and say, I need to take this mental health day off. I'm going through something. And here's the thing that it's not funny, but people tease. There's some people who hear voices. There's some people who have, they see things and that aren't there. These are all things that play along with mental health. And I'm not talking about people who do drugs. I'm talking just some sober people who sometimes they come home, they see shadows, they see all kind of stuff. These are all playing into our mental health. And I'll tell you this, if you don't get it checked, it'll make you go crazy. It'll really have you sitting in a nursing home at an early age. And it's not nothing to play with. And express yourself, brother or sisters. If you have any mental health, confide in someone you can trust and you say, you know what, Brother Chris, I've been seeing things in my home, or I've been hearing voices in my head that are telling me to do X, Y, and Z. And have a good dialogue, brother, because I'm going to say this and I'll go to pass it. The people who are dealing with mental health issues, we try to bottle all this stuff in for years, on top of years, on top of years, on top of years. We don't say anything, and one day we snap. And when we snap, people are saying, well, what happened to him? Well, it's because he's going through a lot of mental health issues, and he never or she never did a good job at getting help and talking with someone. And I would say this once again, I promise you I'll pass it. If anybody on here is dealing with any kind of mental health, my heart goes out to you, because this is a serious topic that don't too many people care about.
Chazz, I'm going to take the last words you said and I'm going to turn it back inward to all of us, because every one of us have mental health issues. See, you're right about some of us who are seeing things and hearing things, and we get that because we can see that. But the mental health I'm talking about is the mental health that we should prioritize, is not allow people and systems to put things inside of us. For example, the educational or so-called educational system has screwed our minds up. It has messed a lot of us up. We are messed up mentally. So we need to prioritize that. The religious system has put so much in our mind, man, that a lot of us are screwed up mentally because of the religious dogma that's been put in our mind that's not true. See, the spiritual systems that most of us like to get into that we don't know anything about, that has screwed us up, man. We're still walking around here thinking that we're living 7,000 years ago instead of taking the principles from Egypt and applying that. We're trying to go back to Egypt and actually live thousands of years ago. So you see, the European that has taught us the ways of this world has screwed us up to now. We all have to prioritize our mental health because our mental health is so screwed up. We don't see it, Chazz. Most of us don't see it because we think that we're normal, but we're really abnormal. Who would live the lives that we live? Who would allow people to treat us the way we're treated? Who would allow the police to treat us like we're treated? Who would allow people to keep our kids and basically take them and dump crap in their head? Who would allow us? We are a messed up people. Many of us are. And so we're encouraging everybody, prioritize your mental health, because your mental health is at stake. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it basically will do this. It will help develop a strong sense of self. Who are you, Chazz? Who am I? Who are you out there in this watching this broadcast? See, we don't want to get down like that. See, we like to talk about that other stuff, but we don't like to get down like that. So we have to do it. We really do, Chazz.
That was well said. Brother Ray Flowers in here. He says, don't be afraid to see the bad side of yourself to improve your character or personality. Yeah, that's true. A lot of us, we sit back and think that we're perfect. We can do no wrong. We got all the answers to everything. And when we actually do some self-reflection or self-maintenance, there is something that we can work on. And like Brother Ray said, the bad side of it, address it and take extra steps to try to get it fixed because we're all, and even myself, we're far, far, far from perfect.
And he's right. We need to improve our character and our personality because a lot of us got a lot of things that we need to deal with.
Sister Barbara Fox in here, she says, I demand respect from my child.
Well, and we should, but it's unfortunate because many of us, as our children get older, we let them run all over us, put tire tracks all on our chests. We let them treat us, drag us through the mud. We let them do us any kind of way. And that's a sign of a weak adult, you see. My mother used to tell us this: I brought you in this world. I'll take your you know what out. In other words, she's basically saying, you're not going to run over me. And we got to have that.
Okay, and then she fires back in here and she also says they want to talk to you as if you're a kid and they are the adult.
Yeah, that's disrespect. It's just disrespect.
And then she also says, brother, I'm sorry, says teach Jah with finger up. Brother Ray fires in here. He says, I respect my adult children and cut off ones who think they are grown behinds disrespecting me as a parent. They are grown and I can't change them. So I change myself and distance myself till they mature better.
Good take.
Right. He also says, let's get down.
Yeah, he knows what that means. See, he's old school. He knows. Let's get down. Let's get down to the truth of what's wrong with us today. We're giving out encouragement to our people, and many of our people don't want encouragement because they are looking for love in all the wrong places. They're looking for encouragement in all the wrong places. They're looking for it in politics. They're looking for it in religion. They're looking for it in education, but they cannot find it within themselves, and that's problematic. So he's right. Let's get down tonight. Because that's what it's all about, man. It's about developing a strong sense of yourself, and then you'll be able to do this.
Number 35, use your voice for activism. Fight for social change. I'll let you take this.
Chazz, there's so much going on in our community, our society. We must fight for social change. Speak up and speak out against the injustices. Speak out against the police brutality. Speak out against the drug dealers in our community selling us that poison. Speak out against all the nonsense that's going on in our families. Speak out. See, we done gotten old, many of us, and we don't want to fight for activism. We don't want to fight for social change. So we feel like we've been around for so long. Now we retired, and all we do now from this point on is sit in the house, watching TV, drinking coffee, drinking beer, drinking soda, drinking water, drinking juice, drinking lemonade, drinking Kool-Aid, drinking soda water. This is the lifestyle that we have gone to. So we don't fight for anything. We don't want to fight for anything, but yet we see what's going on. We think it's for the young kids.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think some of us, like you said, as we get older, some of our fire goes away where we gave everything we had in our, 20s, 30s, and 40s. And as we get older, we get a little bit weaker. We are not active as much. So we just, like you said, we throw in the towel and just take it.
Hey, listen, as long as you have a mouthpiece, I can understand that we can't fire the way we used to fire. We used to, in the day, we could fire away, and that thing was just clicking, fire coming out of it. We got old now, and all you hear is a click and a little spark. You see a little spark. But the thing of it is, you have a mouth, Chazz. You can still talk. So we're not asking you to go out on the battlefield, you 98 years old, and you on the battlefield fighting and throwing blows. We're saying you gotta speak up. You gotta speak out against the injustices, man. These are helpful tips for in life, man, for our group to improve.
Speak up. Absolutely. Speaking up. We have to. As the next point on the screen says, number 36, support Black-owned businesses that support your community. Yeah, we have to. And we've had this discussion over the last couple of weeks where these Black-owned businesses, they get in positions to where they cost a lot of money for their products. We feel like you're cheating us or trying to screw us over, so we don't do business with them. So I would say in this instance, talk to the Black-owned businesses. Give them ideas. Hey, this community needs this. We need that. We will support you. We are here for you. We're not your enemy. And here's the thing. Like you said earlier, and I believe in another show, we don't question these white men and white women who make us pay all this crazy amount for rent, these crazy amount for these cars. We don't question them, but it's always a Black man and Black woman that's under a microscope. It's always a Black man or Black woman that we feel like are out to get us. Some of them do, but we need to learn how to support them because they're trying to get by just like anybody else. Yes, their prices may be expensive, but I would say sacrifice and show them that you care and do business with them if you have the funds to.
And I want to take that a step further, Chaz. You said one part, I'm gonna say the other part. Support Black-owned businesses that support your community. Don't come in my community and fleece me like everybody else because you Black. See, that's the part we don't want to play.
Okay.
We shouldn't have to tell you take our money every day in the community. We shouldn't have to tell you what to do in our community. You see the crime, you see the miseducation, you see all the homelessness, you see all the stuff going on. We take our money all the time, but yet you want us to tell you what to do. No, that's not the way it works, man. So this is why we got to start talking about we should support these businesses, but yet we should also make sure that they're supporting our community. And see, that's the part we don't like to talk about. We want to support them, but we don't say anything about them supporting us. See, we don't have any after school program, nothing that's going to enhance, nothing for our little girls, nothing for our young boys to be from boys to men. So no, you need to know that if we're going to support you, you should support our community. And most of us, again, are cowards. We're afraid to talk like this because we let them rake us over the coals. But if somebody else does it, if the Asians do it, oh, that Asian is wrong. If the European does it, oh, the white man is wrong. But then when they do it, we shut up and put our tail between our legs and we say nothing. And that's a disgrace to let people treat us that way, Chaz.
Absolutely. Number 37 says, take care of your family. Absolutely. And when we say take care, I know most of us are so narrow-minded. We think of that as financial, which if you do have the funds to take care of your family, do that. If you have extra money, do that. Take care of your household with your money if you have enough. But I would say taking care of your family is also in other areas. Their mental health, as we mentioned earlier, making sure that they're feeling okay, making sure that they're taken care of from a physical aspect. It's not always about money. It's not always about buying them things, cars, clothes, shoes, and etc., video games, toys, stuff like that. Taking care of your family, having one-on-one personal time with them at the dinner table instead of always being on the phones. There's so many avenues I can get to, but my main point on this point, brother, is not, and I'm not against finances. I'm not. But we take that as, well, my for example, some of the women say this, my husband or fiance, our family is straight. Yeah, he's got the money, but he's doing other things, and I'm not going to say it, but the point is, he's not taking care of your all well-being. And I guess, and I'll pass it real quick, I guess us people, brother, we feel like as long as a person has money, we taken care of. And that's totally not the truth.
So as you spoke, that's prophetic because we're not looking at taking care of the psychological needs, taking care of the emotional needs. See, we're not talking about those things like that are intangible. See, we're just talking about things we can see. Look at what my spouse bought me. Look at these kicks. These kicks cost $200. That's not anything to be bragging about. You just gave your money to somebody. Those shoes cost $5 to make, and you're boasting because you spent almost $200. See, and we look at look at so and so kicks. See, take care of your children. Make sure your children are going to the doctor. Make sure your children are going to the dentist. Make sure your children are eating the healthy foods. Make sure you're putting the right things in your system. Make sure you're walking every day. Make sure you're encouraging your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other friends. Make sure you're encouraging them to walk. Make sure you're encouraging them to get away from the table, pouring all that salt on there. See, this is the stuff that we mean when we say take care of the family, see?
Right.
These are helpful tips, Chaz.
But yeah, and I was just going to say real quick, that's what most of society is. They look at taking care of as financial. And I'll take it a step further. If a person doesn't have any finances, but he has all the other things that you spoke about, then it's just totally ignored because finances are held to a high criteria.
Well, Dolomite said romance without finance is a nuisance.
You always listening to him.
All
right. Number 38, it says, work very hard on maintaining those great habits that you already have. Yeah, there's some good things that we all have. And just because you don't get credit or people don't notice it or tell you, you're doing a good job at such and such and such and such. No, keep doing that for yourself. Keep doing that because it makes you a better person. But don't always look. And here's the problem that we have, brother. We do have some very good habits, but we tell ourselves, well, Sister Susie, she's not telling me anything about how good I'm doing. So you know what? Since I'm not getting accolades, I'm just going to drop it. I'm going to stop doing it. That's no way to live. It really isn't. So if I would have any advice for the people who are doing the great habits in your life, keep it up because it's really important.
Chazz, you know, every time I talk to you, it's like I'm in church, man. It's like I'm in church. It's like I'm at the mass. I'm at the mass. It's like I'm at a spiritual meeting. I mean, this is therapy for me because I'm telling you now, man, this number 38 says work very hard on maintaining those great habits that you already have. So some of you, most of us, we have so many great habits. We really do. But we don't look at ourselves that way. We see ourselves as the scum of the earth. We see ourselves as a loser. We see ourselves as a no good sinner. We see ourselves as just debauched and all of that. But you have some beautiful qualities, people. And we want to encourage you to keep them. But you got to maintain them now. You got to work on them. You can't just think they're going to stay there. And so we're saying we really know that you have these great habits. So we're saying work hard, y'all. Don't take it for granted. And continue to do what you're doing because all of you are beautiful people out there and you have some wonderful habits and we appreciate those habits. But just don't let those habits just sit where you don't work on them to enhance them. You know, make them better if you can. Don't just think you do one thing and you're going to just live the rest of your life on that one thing. No, make it better so that people can say, wow, you know what? I noticed this about you. And you say, well, yes, I've been working on that. So that's what that's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so we don't have any more bullet points. So we'll go to the comments now because we're talking about tips that we need to give to people. So let's go ahead and let's see right here. Raymond says this.
He says the greatest love of all is respectful self-love.
He hit that one. He hit that one right on the head. Until we love ourselves. You can read all the Bible verses and the Quran verses and all those verses. You cannot love others until you love yourself because you don't know how to love others until you love yourself. And this is why I'm saying, Chazz, this is a beautiful session that we're having because we're not charging people money. You ain't got to pay for this. We don't have to sing to you, although we do have music that you can listen to. But at the same time, we're encouraging, and all our music is positive. So yes, brothers and sisters, the greatest love of all is a respectful self-love.
He also says, support Black-owned businesses that support the community is the law of self-preservation. He also says, love and order starts when you and then in your home. Then you're ready for community unity. You have to love yourself and you have to love people in your home. You cannot be tearing that house up, fighting and arguing like cats and dogs. And then as soon as we get outside in the community, we want everybody to think that we're good. You know, a lot of people do that. That's married, boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah.
In the house, they're at each other's throats, you know, choking each other, calling each other names, cussing each other out. And when they get in public, you would say, look at this beautiful couple. This is a wonderful couple. No, it's not a wonderful couple. This is a front. It's fake and it's no good. So brothers and sisters, these are helpful tips in life for group improvement because our group needs improvement.
Brother Ray also fires in here. He says community churches and businesses, social obligations. And then he also says laughing faces. Oh, and then he says, well, I make ugly look good. What was the comment that he was saying about the social obligations? What was your take on that? I couldn't really.
He's saying community churches and businesses are social obligations. They're obligated to us. They're obligated when we go to these places, not just the churches, but the mosques that the Muslims go to, and also the spiritual places that the spiritual gurus live at. See, all of these places are supposed to be community upliftments. See, they're supposed to uplift the community because we go to these places and we talk about things that happens in the community. So we take our time and our talent and our treasure and we pour it back in the community. And then our community is a better place to live. That's why I'm telling you, man, we have it all backwards. So we have to start looking at helpful tips in life for group improvement. Who does not want to have some proof and some tips, Chazz, that's going to help us become better people? Who would not want to talk about encouragement? We need encouragement right now. Our people are being kicked in the teeth. We're being drugged in the blood. Police are killing us. Religions are taking us for granted. Spirituality is off on the limb in many instances. You know, all this stuff is going on. Politics have done us all kind of way, but turned us loose. You know, education has miseducated us, our kids. So all these issues, when are we going to pull together as a community and say, you know what? I need to learn how to be a better person so I can help teach my children so that when I turn them loose into the community, they won't be menace for society. You know, they will be people that's going to help make this community a better place where I can come home at night at 9 and not have to worry about your son whacking me over the head and robbing me. I mean, come on, man.
Absolutely. I didn't see you going there with that, but yeah. Man, brother, this is a good topic. He also says, Brother Ray Fires back, he says, fix your ugly up and make it look good.
Yeah, he's talking about people who, like, they cuss their children out and then they go in the community and then they all, oh, look at my child, see? And then they make children have low self-esteem, or the girlfriend and boyfriend or people who live together, husband and wife, they fight like cats and dogs behind closed doors. And then when they get in public, you would think that, wow, look, this is the quintessential relationship, but it's not. You see, it's fake. So these are helpful tips. Y'all, look, be yourselves, okay? We've given out at least 38 of them for the last 5 weeks. So we're going to start another subject. If there's a subject you guys would like for us to talk about, because Chazz asked me, he says, what are we going to talk about next week? I said, I don't know. So I'm telling you, if you have a subject that you want us to talk about, put it in the comment section. We still have about 4 minutes to go, and we will study and get that subject, especially if it's something that we can do by next week. If it's a deep study, we'll have to study more and come back. But this is your broadcast, people. This is your broadcast. You know, this is Chazz and I. We're just the hosts. We just run our mouths, but you guys have a lot to say, and we want you to have that input so that you can know that, hey, you are a part of something that's great, and you have to acknowledge that and then do something about it.
And I was going to say, one thing I like about us that are different from other shows and stuff like that, there's people where you can only comment or call once and that's it. You can't make any other comments. You can comment as long as they're not disrespectful to the host or anything like that. You can comment as much as you want. And that's what's different, because most shows, they tell you, you get one phone call, you get one comment, and after that, you can't comment or call anymore. And if you do, they'll just block you. So that's one thing we do have that's different from other people. So, yeah, if you got anything in the comment section, or if you can't think now, email us some topics. So sometimes we can't always think on the fly of what to put. So if you got any suggestions, feel free to email us as well.
Or if you disagree with us, we're not going to block you where you can't come back on again. You know, some of the hosts, when you disagree with the host, they get angry, they curse you out, they say things mean-spirited. But hey, we disagree. Even Chazz and I disagree. But the bottom line is, that's what makes this thing beautiful. We all are in a learning process, and we definitely have to do that.
Yeah. Brother Ray says, racial positive evolution.
Okay, that's a subject matter that we can look into. And then also, here's another one.
Sister Barbara says, can you do a show on social anxiety? That's a good one.
You know what, Chazz, we might have to take a picture of these, because I think once we get off, we lose the comments. So I'll take a quick picture of these, and then what we'll do is we'll bring these things to light, because we definitely want to honor our guests, man. Because this is a good show, because you can't ask other shows to do a show on something that other people want to hear. They tell you what they want you to know. Now, we pick the subject, but this is the kind of broadcast that we have where you can actually put some comments on there, and we'll do what we can. So, Chazz, you normally lead us to the promised land. So I'm gonna let you go ahead, and then after Chazz is done speaking, I'll say something, and then I'll let you hear our latest song coming from Cries from the Womb, called These Kids, Chazz and I. And we getting the copyrights within the next month. And this is from our brand new album. But right now, I'm going to let Chazz close us out. And then once we get done with this, we're going to play our song called These Kids. Listen to it and tell us what you think. But Chazz, take us home, and then we'll play our song.
One says always, I appreciate all the viewers who stuck in there with us tonight to watch the show. But tonight was a well thoughtful, well done show for over the last month, I would say. We just spoke about self-improvement, some of the tips, some of the things that are plaguing us as a whole, as a community, how we can fight back against it, some of the things that's going on with our own mental health, all these things, if you go back and look through all these broadcasts, we spoke about the things that are just tearing us down as a community, and how we can better ourselves, because it's easy for us to sit back, think we got all the answers, think that we're perfect. No, these things are for us too, because we deal and struggle with some of these things as well, such as sometimes, like someone put, anxiety, low self-esteem, stuff like that. And there's no shame here with me saying that. As a person, if you tell me you have no anxiety, you're perfect, then I know you're lying, and I know that you're just saying that to make yourself feel good. We want to be transparent here as well. And then I also want to say, for our children that are with this as well, they probably have some of the issues that we spoke of over the last month. But I really enjoyed this month-long series of this. This is probably the longest we've ever been, brother. And I'm going to stop running my fat mouth and listen to your take about the last month of broadcast. I appreciate it.
All right. We appreciate all of you who viewed this, because you could have been doing something else. Even for those who popped in and popped out, if you get a chance to view it in its entirety, go back and watch it. We're going to leave you with a song from Cries from the Womb that's called These Kids. So we thank all of you for your comments. Sister Barbara says thank you. Thank you for sure for the knowledge. And Brother Raymond says we appreciate you both. We appreciate you too, Brother Raymond. And then Sister Mashonda says Shem Hotep. So she's saying thank us for the knowledge. So we're going to leave you with this latest song from Cries from the Womb. This is from Chazz and myself, and it's called These Kids. So stay tuned. This one is coming out very soon.
Okay. In the tapestry of time, a journey unfolds. African-American children's stories untold.
In the cradle of culture, heritage, and pride, teach them how to stay alive. Truths that cannot be denied. Please keep these geniuses' eyes open wide. Mothers, this world is tough. Fathers, give them what they need to be enough. We both better fix their stuff. They're trying to kill him and destroy her. These kids through the storms of life. These kids, everything is by design. These kids won't roll through the pipeline. These kids shouldn't have to die. Racism's bitter reek. What narratives do I leak? Empowerment to them we speak. Guide these kids to be strong and unique. Embrace that melanin inside. Starve the lies, let them die. The knowledge is a weapon you fly. The older you get, the more it will intensify. These kids through the storms of life. These kids, everything is by design. These kids won't go through the pipeline. These kids shouldn't have to die. Concrete of history. Come on, Cries. Stories of victories. Struggles and witchery. They don't like you, so what? They're gonna talk about you, so what?
Guide them through racism and prejudice. Our justice, breaking barriers with bliss. For every milestone, the celebration grand. Make womanhood and manhood stand.
Get on. Get on. Get on. Get on. Help them through the storms of life. Everything is by design. You won't go through the pipeline. These kids shouldn't have to die.